Okay, welcome back, and we are in prison. Wouldn't be an RPG if we weren't. The next part of this run is the Oubliette, and this is the most technical and difficult part of each run, and will most likely cause some slower times for quite a few of you at the beginning. It is not as complicated as it looks, though, and we will talk through the exact mechanics of how to do the Braincat jumps during this video. So to start, re-up your buffs, as always. I like to do them before jumping down this hole, because when I'm going quickly, I use the pathing that starts as soon as we enter the Oubliette in order to guarantee the location of a Braincat. So when we jump down here, we want to immediately jump to this pile of bodies and enter tactical view. Scroll out all the way and look for this Braincat. Intellect Devourer is the wrong name. They are called Braincats in my opinion. If you do an interact scroll wheel jump, the goal here is to teleport to this Braincat. From here, the trick to this jump, it is not as complicated as it looks. What you are trying to do is you are trying to tell your character to jump to a location, and then, at the moment you would reach that location, it needs to be occupied by an entity. So in this case, we're using a moving NPC in order to fill the location we are jumping to. When that happens, the game will look for the closest location and just teleport your character to that location in order to satisfy the jump without putting you inside of a moving entity. It will ignore any blocking in the way. This is the mechanics behind how this jump works, and once you understand how that is, you can perform this nearly flawlessly every time. So again, I need to re-up my buffs because I let them fall off. You do want Featherfall here, or else you'll take a little bit of damage on each of these jumps. And after the Shadow Curse lands, you might be very low. So again, turn on jump. Look for the circle. And when you see an entity walking towards it, you're going to scroll wheel down just before the entity reaches that spot. That was a failed one. And you want the pathing to walk that entity onto where you would have jumped, just like that. This will take a lot of practice, but once you get it down, as long as you understand that you are trying to jump to a spot that will be filled by the entity at the moment you would be landing, that is the trick to being consistent with this. And it works with any entity, any moving entity. You can actually practice with Shadowheart if you want, in order to learn this jump beforehand. From here, the rest of the run is very simple. I'm going to re-up my jump and Featherfall. And from here, we jump to this hallway, up to this door. There's a little thing, you can't jump to this area, so you just jump as close to the door as you can. Open it up. Jump out into this hallway. We're going to the right here. Down past this horrible skull. To the right. One more door on the end of the hall. Open it up. Here, you can either jump to this ledge and down, or you can just jump straight down if you have Featherfall. You will take fall damage if you try and jump the full way without Featherfall. At this point, click this elevator, and the elevator ride begins. Here, once we have passed this location, I use this little nubbin and the left side of my elevator as my measuring point. You can also count. You can count, I believe it's about 6 seconds from the beginning of the elevator ride, but I like to use this little nubbin here and my elevator as a measure. You can enter turn-based mode, and once you are in turn-based mode, you can actually jump all the way down to the end of the elevator to speed up your elevator ride a little bit. Exit turn-based mode, jump to the end of this hall, and hit the door. You're now in the end of the game. You want to hit 1 on this dialogue for enter, and at this point, you need to be spamming 3, not 1. The reason for this is after the end of this cutscene, Gale will be offered these 3 choices. You do not want to press 1 or 2. If you do, you will not complete the game. So for that cutscene, and that cutscene only, make sure you are spamming 3. You don't want to fail a run because you hit 1 or 2. So you hit 3. Skip this last cutscene, Gale blows himself up, and you've got credits. That is the entire run, slowed down and discussed. At the end of this video, I'll do one more quick run through the Oubliette and show you you'll see in that what I mean by you can guarantee the pathing of that first Braincat if you do your jump right when you come down into the Oubliette. And then the only other thing I want to talk about is this final section will take a lot of practice. So don't get stressed out, don't get overwhelmed. It just sucks at first to get those Braincat jumps down, but once you do, you'll be able to set a really good time. The next video, I will cover some more advanced tech, things like animation canceling, and I may even include my route through the Shadowlands that does not use a torch, as well as extending buffs using turn-based mode. But those will all be in the next video, and those tricks are only if you are trying to push for a very, very good time. You can absolutely get a very solid time using just the route that I've showed in these videos. All right. Good job, and see you later.
Look at it. This must be
An illithid oubliette, right beneath the towers. The colony must be close. That must be where the tadpoles are coming from.
abattoir across the privy. Fleet of nautiloids. I dread to think of my true selves out of Queensland. Tadpole's growing restless. Feels like it's exciting.